I'm Adrienne Giffen, and this is Now You're Talking. Parenting in the digital world can feel overwhelming, especially when you're balancing a career, raising teens and preteens, and trying to keep up with it all. Screens are constant, and sometimes real connection feels out of reach. This podcast is your chance to pause and breathe, a space for stories and insights that bring encouragement, perspective, and the reminder that you are not alone. Today's guest is Steve Clair, New York-based real estate broker at Serant, entrepreneur, and creator of the GOAT series, a national children's book franchise that brings the stories of the world's greatest athletes to life for kids. With 16 plus years in real estate and a background in storytelling and brand building, Steve is growing businesses with legacy in mind, while staying rooted as a hands-on dad. In this episode, we talk about building work that outlasts the deal, shaping stories that inspire the next generation, and why purpose and family sit at the center of everything Steve creates. Let's dive in and let the conversations begin. Steve, thank you for joining us today. I am so thrilled to have you here because I want to ask you how you manage all your time being a born entrepreneur, a real estate broker, an author, father of two.
Keep going.
I know. A partner and a podcaster. And then you also create products that align with your book.
Yes.
So how do you navigate it all in this digital era?
So I couldn't imagine what this would be like if this was 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. How did anyone operate before cell phones? I get it. People did stuff, but there's no way anyone was able to do as many things entrepreneurially and actually do them before iPhones or smartphones for that matter. And I attribute my ability to do so much of this because of having the functionality of a computer at all times. I have the computer I'm talking with you on right now, and then the phone constantly. Let's say, for example, this morning, I went to the gym and I'm on the treadmill for 24 minutes. I'm there literally emailing, posting on TikTok, editing videos every morning. It's just, I'm taking all the possible time that I have when I'm not with my family to do work. Because when I am with the family, I have I'm getting better at it with just putting the phone down and being present. I'm very, very present, but just always having things to do really pulls you in, because I'll also be, and I literally think, and sorry for going off on a tangent, but I'll literally think where I'm on the couch with my wife and we're watching a show and it's 9:30 p.m. and part of me is well, you should go and edit that, or you should be looking up the best way to animate this, because your to-do list is never ending. But that's the thing, the to-do list is never ending.
Yes. So how do you discipline yourself? Because if you're pulled in so many directions and you're even doing that on the treadmill, how do you then turn that off and discipline yourself when you are with your family? And you have two young kids.
Yeah.
And your spouse.
Yes. Seymour is 3. Delilah's 10 months. Before Delilah, even with Seymour, I made it a point to always work on being home between 6 and 6:30 and having family time specifically from that 6:30 till about 8:30 time, helping with dinner, bedtime, and not just, I don't mean helping, doing, and being there, being father. I am bathing my son 3 to 6 nights a week, however many nights he has a bath. I'm doing almost every bath throughout the week because I want to spend that much more time with him. And also I use bath time with him we read in the bath. I'm a big, I love bath books. Now that he's 3 and is fully communicating, not so much, but from when he was probably about 6, 7 months up until 2.5, 3, we'd be sitting in the bath almost every night reading different books and trying to teach him how to pronounce words associated with different, whether it's plants or animals or foods that are teaching him. And I guess to bring it back to your question, delegating my time properly and That's the most important thing, because if you don't and you just try and figure it out, you're going to fall flat and you're going to burn out.
So delegating to people who specialize in the areas that you don't.
No, this is all internal. So delegating with myself.
Oh, it's all internal.
Yeah, this is all internal. So categorizing my time, knowing that this is family time. Throughout the day, categorizing my time with, this is right now I'm working on real estate. I just finished that task. Now I'm going to give 30 to 45 minutes of my time to the GOAT series. I just finished that. Now I'm going to give 30 to 45 minutes of my time to real estate, and going task by task. Because a big issue with a lot of people, and a big issue that I had, was having 25 different tabs up, trying to do this while you're doing that. You could do that, but nothing will ever be done efficiently. And a big issue that I saw in my life and my productiveness was trying to do so many things. Because if you try to do so many things, nobody is going to look at you like you're an expert, and because you're not going to be able to look at yourself like you're an expert, because you're not giving 100%. But you could give 100% for this 45 minutes and then stop. 45.
So you compartmentalize.
1,000%. It's so important.
Boxes. Yes. Yeah. And then you can cleanly move on to the next, rather than multitask is one of the life's greatest lies. It's impossible to multitask.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. You could multitask by using different parts of by doing different tasks. Like, I can walk on the treadmill while sending an email. I could lift weights while on the phone. These are different things that I could do, that you could do, but actual multitasking within work and doing two different tasks at the same time, while maybe you could actually quote unquote do it, but you really shouldn't, because you're not doing it efficiently.
Or if you're too split. So tell me about the book, your book series.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Where did the inspiration? And you've got Messi behind you.
There he is.
And Messi was your first book?
So Michael Jordan was the first book.
Who was your first book? Michael Jordan, yes.
So let me go back a little further. So
please.
The whole idea started well over a half a decade ago. And the original idea was to make children's books about the greatest sporting events of all time. Only the main character in the book was a GOAT in a world of humans. So Adrian, what's your sport of choice?
Basketball.
All right. So think Chicago Bulls, Utah Jazz, 1998, Game 6, that famous 4 seconds left on the clock. Michael Jordan has the pullback for the win. The story of that game, only Michael Jordan is a GOAT in a world of humans. Now, I had a whole list that I had put together, and this was a long time ago. I'd put together a list of games that would be perfect to tell in children's book format.
Yes.
I sat on it. It was an idea. You have a million ideas, but it doesn't mean you act on them. And this was something that I didn't know the children's book world, but it sounded like a cool idea. And I have family in the business. I have family who, my cousin's been a children's book author for 3+ decades. And I've always asked her for advice. What do you think of this? And she loved it, but it kind of just was on the back burner, because I'm a real estate broker. I have a podcast, and from 2020 to 2019 to 2022, I had been working on building a restaurant with a few friends. Fast forward to 18 months ago, I pulled the plug on that. And I was like, you know what? This GOAT series idea, it's something that hasn't been done. I had been looking on Amazon every 2-3 months and not finding anything. I'm like, how has nobody created a book about Michael Jordan where he is a GOAT in a world of humans? How does this not exist? Because when I had my son, August 2022,
yes,
I bought him all these biography books, because I love to read biographies. So they have like little ones for kids, and all the ones that I had bought him for kids, they were kind of crap. Like the illustrations weren't good. There was no story flow. And I was like, you know what? There's got to be a better way. And then that is actually where the idea of taking the books being about just a specific game and now making it biographies came into my head. So now we fast forward to 18 months ago, and I was like, you know what? I don't see it on Amazon. I Google it. Nothing comes up. Let's do it. So I went on Facebook and I joined a few different Facebook groups for children's book authors, illustrators, and publishers. And I'm on there 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I'm just looking at the message boards. What are people doing to succeed? What are people failing on? How are people finding their illustrators? How are people finding distribution? And for months, I'm on these message boards every day, learning and connecting with people. And at the same time, I'm planning the book series. I start writing the Michael Jordan book, and then I start talking to illustrators. And after interviewing about a half a dozen illustrators, I realize I don't need an illustrator. I need an art director. I don't need one person to just draw. I need a team that's going to draw, format, design, the whole shebang.
Yes,
so I found this fantastic team. The company is called Folks and Fables. Two amazing girls that started this company, and they've been a pleasure to work with. We started with the Michael Jordan book, and that took about 4 or 5 months. Once we finished the Michael Jordan book, we now had the framework for every other book, how it was going to look. So I then had Lionel Messi, Serena Williams, and Tom Brady. And once we finished Jordan, we then started working on these 3 all at the same time. This was about Q3, so about September 2024. By December, we had the books almost ready to go in terms of formatting. I then seeked out different printers. So now I'm talking to 3 different printers to get samples. We're sampling back and forth. Fast forward to June 2025, June 20th, Fanatics Fest, New York City. We launched the company. And in a room of over 100,000 sports fans, the GOAT series was made.
Oh, that's fantastic. So did you get the permission from Messi and from Tom Brady, like all these people to do that, or?
I have not. So
okay.
So the gray area is that you do not need permission to write a biography about anybody.
Well, that's interesting.
Anybody. You could write a biography as long as everything that you write is truthful.
Okay.
So I can't do a book, Lionel, The Adventures of Messi, where I have Messi the GOAT going to try different foods around the world, because that's using his likeness for a series. But I can write a biography about him. So we have the first 4 that came out, and we just had our next 3 titles that came in last week, which will be launching shortly.
Fantastic.
Tiger Woods, Babe Ruth, and Wayne Gretzky.
Fantastic.
We have 2 different plush dolls and bath books and coloring books.
Well, that's great, Steve. So that's really interesting. But where did the original, just because you loved biographies and you wanted to share this with children and give them inspiration?
Yeah, I wanted kids to actually be pulled in to learn about great people of the past. And the reason why I love reading biographies is because I get to learn from great people of the past. Let's say it doesn't have to be, yes, I've read Michael Jordan's biography, learned a lot from him, but Sam Walton, the owner of Walmart, amazing biography. Different people in business, art, sports, we read about them as grown-ups because we want to learn about their life and take stuff from it. Why can't kids do that? Why can't kids learn from the greats? And having a book in a certain format where kids want to be curious, that is what I wanted to create. Like really bridging the gap from animals that toddlers learn about to real people that, the preteens and, those 8 to 12-year-olds learn about, and bridge the gap where you have animals that are the real people and make them curious. Like, here's a perfect example. I've gotten numerous texts and emails from parents who have just said, Steve, these are amazing. Now my daughter keeps asking me to watch YouTube videos of Serena.
Really? Right. Well, that's fantastic.
Like it's getting a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old curious about real greatness and not made up greatness.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is inspirational. And tell us a little bit more about how you're creating donations, or you're getting people to, you're raising awareness so people can then give books to the young people around the world. Tell me more about that.
I'm so happy you brought that up. So we have a program. I have a program that I created called Goats Giving Back. Goats Giving Back is a program where organizations, companies, even single people will purchase anywhere from 50 to 200 plus books at a highly discounted rate. And for them, we then gift those books. We donate them to underprivileged youth organizations in the literacy space. It's super special to do. So the way it works is we have a section on our website, Goats Giving Back. There's a link there where it goes to a jot form where people let us know how many books they'd like to donate. They give us their logo, and we then take the order and we go and we drive and we go to these headquarters for these youth literacy programs, and just the look on these faces to get these books to thousands of kids is so special. And it's something that for me, just being able to give back, and not just me give back, but really helping other organizations and helping other companies give back under their name has been very special.
Yes, and just the inspiration that you're giving to young people, and
super inspirational.
You never know how that is going to change
exactly
lives.
Whenever we donate, they say the same thing to me, how they love it, because there's such minimal sports books. For whatever reason, there's minimal sports books. So every time I donate, they're just so happy to get them in, because these kids love sports and these kids love receiving these books.
Yes, that's true. So going back to the digital era, and I know you mentioned that your daughter is just 10 months and your son is 3. What are your thoughts around digital devices and how you're going to introduce that to your kids, and when?
It's tough. And, I just found out yesterday, the new Toy Story coming out, the premise is the toys versus the iPad. And
That's interesting.
And my wife and I, we have this conversation on a weekly basis. Now, we don't want our kids to have any screens, like no minimal screens, if not no screens. TV is somewhat of an impossibility. I mean, and nothing's impossible, but giving him access to watching TV is at a certain time. So on weekends, he gets X amount of time to watch TV. He will never ever own an iPad. He has this little pad with a stylus that he draws on, and he pushes a lever and it goes away, right? And we call that his iPad. To him, that's an iPad. Watching stuff on our phone is a very big no. Spotify adding videos on Disney Disney playlist did not play well for us, because he just wants to watch these videos. But to circle back to the question, you can, as a parent, only do what you can control within your home.
Mm-hmm.
The friends are going to have pads. The friends are not going to have pads. You can't control that. But it's teaching your child how your values are in your home.
Yes.
Whereas and it's very important to not poo-poo on anyone else's values. So if a friend has an iPad in his house and they play with it at his house, I'm fine with that. I don't care if he's playing with an iPad at someone's house, because he knows that that's just not in our house. He can have an iPad at his, but we don't do that. And my son at 3 years old has been very understanding on that.
Already, he's understanding. But is he drawn to it at 3 years old? I didn't raise my kids during this time.
Yes.
It's just different. So I'm always so
it's
intrigued.
Even controlling, he even wants to, it's the light and it's the action. If there's pictures on the phone, he wants to swipe and look at pictures. It's the brightness. If we're listening to music in the car and I'm listening on Spotify on my phone, he wants to change the song because he just wants the brightness. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's bad. And I'm not saying it's bad with my kid, but I think that what it does to kids' brains is bad. We did implement last week that even on TV days, which are Saturdays and Sundays, if he wants to watch TV, he has to do 2 puzzles. Yes. So, and we also have puzzles that don't count, because there's a big dinosaur puzzle. That's one of those, a very easy floor puzzle. No, dinosaur puzzle doesn't count. You need to do either the states or the planets or the countries. And we have these bigger puzzles. So we have one that's of the United States. So he's now at 3 years old learning Texas, California, Louisiana, Florida. He's getting it down pat. Now let me ask you, how old are your kids?
37 down to 30. Well, but I have a blended 7. So I would say 40.
So as a parent, we were talking about it yesterday. Is it important for them to learn the capitals of the states?
Yeah, well, I would like your kids to learn about Canada.
My kids will learn about Canada. One of my closest friends is, I have friends from Winnipeg.
Yeah, good.
I have a handful of friends from Winnipeg, and if we can clip this, Tom is going to be very happy to hear it. Julie.
So Julie, and you and Julie sort of talk all the time about
I remember last week, I'm walking into the building, they're walking into the building at the same time, and the 6-year-old has the phone in his face, just watching YouTube. The kid's not even watching where he's going, just watching YouTube, getting in the elevator. The phone is right next to his face. So
yes,
knowing that, and it goes right back to the same principle of these are the values in our house. At 3, you need to keep repeating it because they're not going to actually accept it. I think until they're older, they're going to continuously say, but what about his house? What about his house? And you just have to keep reinstating, reinforcing.
Yes.
This is for them, and this is in their house, not in our house.
Really?
It's instilling in them before they're having the conversations with you, when you're having the conversation with them. And big thing with me is being repetitive. I'm super, super repetitive. If I say something, oh, we're doing a puzzle. Oh, that's California. Say California, California, California. I will say it 6 times because and then we go Arizona, and I will hammer down. Because if you keep repeating yourself to your child, that's how they remember.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely. And they do have selective memory. So if you can keep repeating it, you have more chance of it sticking.
Exactly.
So tell me, Steve, knowing what you know now at this stage in your life, as a parent, as an entrepreneur, what would you do the same and what would you do differently?
With my kids or in life?
Fine. What would you do the same and what would you do differently, knowing what you know now?
What I would do differently is I would ask for guidance at a younger age. And that's guidance at a younger age, or guidance at a starting point or midpoint of many things in life. I've been very good with that now. I'm about to be 40, and I'm very good with that now because I understand that at a younger age, I did not do it when I should have. Being in my 20s and thinking, I got this. No one in their 20s should be thinking, I got this. You have so many people who can give you advice about what you don't got. You may think you got it, but ask for advice. Biggest thing. Regret it. Like, did I learn a lot from not asking for advice on many things? Absolutely. Would I have been better off had I sought help? %. So what would I have done differently?
Yeah.
Ask for help. Ask for help. And if the question is with what, the answer is everything. Everything.
Because we just don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
Throughout life, really. I mean, in the 20s, sure, but we're always a work in progress.
Absolutely. And like, people think that they should be at a certain place in life just because there's so many people who are above you, whether you're 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 65. Even at 65, someone could have someone who is much more educated than them, who is half their age or a quarter their age. No, quarter wouldn't make sense. Their age, younger than them, who is an expert in something that they want to do and would love to guide them. People want to help. People want to help people who are actually passionate and want to get better.
Yes. What would you do the same?
Enjoy life. My mom passed when I was 17. And ever since then, I've lived by things could always be worse. So anytime anything bad happens, things could always be worse. When things good are when good things are happening, that's great. But then if something goes off the rail, things could always be worse. And as long as you're moving things forward, things will continue to move forward. So two big things that I live by is things could always be worse. So just relax. And I always do what makes me happy. I don't let little things bug me ever. It's like it's that, if anything, and people have said this to me, close friends, family, that's my superpower is not letting anything really bother me. You measure, there's different ways you can measure success. And when I look at Jules and I look at Seymour and I look at Delilah and my dog George and our home, that is success.
Your family and your family nucleus. Yeah, that makes sense. May I ask you a couple of questions off my board game? Now you're talking.
Let's go.
Okay. So Describe a high point in your high school life, Steve.
High point in my high school life.
Yes.
We just had our 20-year reunion last year. So I'm going back to the archives. I guess high point in high school, I moved to my high school into a new town when I was 15. So I started sophomore year. So I'm not going to point at one specific moment at being a high point. I'm going to look at just high school as its entirety as a high point. Because when I moved to the school, I immediately, before school even started, joined the football team, started making friends. Before I went, I networked with friends of mine and had friends within the school, started making friends. And I guess my highlight could be that the long-term relationships that I built, that I still have to this day, and running into people from high school, whether it's my age, older, younger, I got along with.
Yes.
I love human connection. And now that we're even older, some people that I even were just acquaintances with back then, now being more friendlier and having more connection now, especially through the kids. So everyone who's got kids, ages, whatever it is, 2 to 8, we all have this common connection. And being in the children's book world, I'm now able to connect with more people and bring back to last week, I connected with someone from my high school who I hadn't seen in 20 years. And we grabbed a coffee for 2.5 hours. And it was kind of remembering each other from high school, but now having so much more that we're connected on now. So to answer your question, proudest moment is just high school as a whole and taking it with everything I got and holding on to the connections from there, even now, 20 plus years later.
So that's interesting for me because as executive recruiters, my husband and I are executive recruiters, and we work with a process out of Chicago called top rating. And top rating says that things that happen in high school repeat throughout somebody's career. I've come to believe that things in those impressionable years is what you were talking about earlier, repeat throughout a lifetime in every aspect of life. But
interesting.
So it's interesting. Yeah.
Well,
so
interesting also because, you know about me, podcasts, books, broker, parent. In high school, I was football, basketball, fashion show, other clubs. Yeah, I was very much a Swiss Army knife.
Right. So you are today. So that was sort of, it seems to me, so that provided the foundation for who you are today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's great that all these businesses, they all rely on relationships, but you learned how to create lasting relationships in those impressionable years.
1,000%.
So interesting. What goal in your life, Steve, have you been so focused on, it's been difficult to see anything else?
Well, try not to give the cliche answer, but what mainly keeps coming to my mind is being literally number one dad in the world. I want my son, and I love my daughter, but I grew up in a single mother household. I know how important the connection between father and son is that I never had. And I want my son to have that. I want my son to grow up with experiences now that he's 3. I want these experiences to compound till the day I die. And I want him to be so full of love. And that for me has been my biggest goal. Listen, work comes and goes. I've been a real estate broker for 16 years. I launched my book series this summer. It's amazing, but I do it for him. I do it for my family, but my son's number one for me. And the things and my ultimate goal forever is just for him to have compounding memories and for him to be a GOAT, for him to be the future GOAT. Yeah.
That's so where pain is, passion comes from, right? So so that's what that says to me. You still have a lot of pain around that. And having 4 biological daughters and then a blended 5 and then daughter-in-laws, I can tell you that the relationship between a father and a daughter is incredibly special too.
I can't wait. I remembered when I had my son, the first 3-4 months, we're oh, all right, there, this baby, what do I do with it? I smile. But now that my daughter's 10 months, it's a new thing every week or two. And it's amazing. And I can't wait till she starts speaking. And I can't wait to start, like, now I'm starting to read to her, and I'm starting to read to her, and she's starting to have some almost words come out, and she's
yeah.
And I know that as she gets older, our bond is going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to rival what I have with my son right now. But rather than rival what I have with my son, it's going to complement what I have for my son.
It's equally as special. It'll just be different.
Exactly. And I can't imagine. Oh, he loves going to sports. Like, he loves live sports. Just being in our family, the amount of live sporting events that I like to take him to, I'm hoping that she is equally as in love with it. But if she's not, we love live events. So whether it's live sports, live shows, live concerts, I'm excited to get her to the age where I could start sharing that with her. He went to his first football game at 3 months, his first NBA game at 6 months. And at 3 years old, he's already been to a dozen Knicks games and almost a half a dozen NFL games.
That's great. Well, I look forward to your continued series. And depending where her passion is, let's say it's in ballet, or it's in drama, or it's in art, there's greatness in so many areas.
Oh, I would. And your mouth to God's ears.
Fully involved, for sure. So I see it. One more question, may I just ask? If you could share a meal, Steve, with 3 people, and this would be perfect for you since you love biographies, who would they be?
Deceased is okay? Or alive?
Yes. Yeah, both. Just 3 people.
At the table, we would have my mother, Salvador Dali, and Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
So all...
Can you stand a little away?
I would love my mother to be there just because I haven't seen her in over 2 decades, and that she's the most special person ever in my life. Robin Williams was one of the most unique humans to ever walk the earth.
Mm-hmm.
From what we know about him, just being one of the funniest and most empathetic people, one of the most creative, worldly people. And I just feel like that trio of Dolly, Mom, and Robin Williams would be amazing.
Remember him standing at the top of the elevator or the escalator, telling someone on the phone that he loves them.
Who are your 3 people?
Well, I would go to deceased too. It was just a toss-up. I always figured they're around me anyway, but I just can't see them. It's like a one-way mirror. They can see us, but we can't see them. So
100%.
So words of wisdom, Steve. What are some words of wisdom that you would like to share with other parents, other entrepreneurs? What are some words of wisdom that can really help people who may be struggling at this point?
You're not going to die tomorrow. You're not. This too will pass. And like, literally everything always works itself out. It does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whoever's listening, however old you are, think about 5-10 years ago, and whatever problem was going on at that time, it maybe lasted either that day or a week or 2 weeks, but you figured it out. You're always going to figure it out. And now, more than ever, with AI, you can figure it out even quicker, because there's something you can't figure out. Just go to ChatGPT and ask it for help and 10 steps how to figure it out, because you will. And life is going to be great as long as you're doing what makes you happy.
Yeah, and that's so true. Those are great words of wisdom. If you do look back on your life and you look at the really difficult times, we do get through them. Nothing lasts forever, the good or the challenging times. So no, I would agree. Yeah.
Words that I live by.
Oh, well, that's Steve. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Great energy.
Well, thank you. It's been great getting to know you, and I look forward to staying in contact with you.
Absolutely. And definitely check out the book series, the goatseries.kids.
Yes.
We have a lot on the horizon.
Okay. I'm excited about that. We have 6 grandchildren, another one on the way. So it's very timely.
Amazing. Well, you're in Canada. We have the Wayne Gretzky book that just came out.
I know. That's fantastic. I was happy when you said that. That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a fantastic rest of your week. It was nice. It was nice being here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining today's conversation with Steve Clair. A reminder that success lands differently when it's driven by legacy, storytelling, and the people we love most. Is something here resonated? Share it with your family, your team, or the young people in your life. Connection grows when we turn moments into conversations. Follow Now You're Talking wherever you listen and leave a review to help others find these stories. Until the next time, start the conversation that matters. You've been listening to Now You're Talking. Parenting with a busy career while guiding kids through the lure of screens isn't easy, but meaningful connection is always worth it. Take a moment to start a conversation with someone you care about. It could be the highlight of their day. Until next time, let the conversations begin. Now You're Talking.
I'm Michelle Abraham, and we are honored to have Adrienne Giffen's Now You're Talking podcast on our High Vibe Podcast Network. For more high vibe shows like hers, head on over to highvibepodcastnetwork.com and grab your free gift from our gift vault from all of our hosts. Until then, stay high vibe.